G'day reefers, I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Welcome to Gallery Aquatica TV. This is the Aqua One ReefSys 255. Today we're going to be showing you all of the ins and outs of this system to help you decide if it's the right reef tank for you. The ReefSys 255 is 255 litres. It's 90 centimetres long by 55 centimetres wide by 53 centimetres high. It has an overflow with 2 drains and a return that comes up through the weir. It has a cabinet which we've actually already assembled. It comes as a flat pack, which makes it very easy to transport, and it comes with a large sump which allows for a large amount of space for a refugium style algae scrubber. So today we're going to put the plumbing in and show you how we do that. Then we're going to fill it with water and we're going to show you exactly how to set up your system and to run it and tune it. So we'll start with the plumbing. This is the plumbing for the ReefSys 255, and this is our return line with the twin adjustable duckbills. We've got a barrel union on the soft plastic hose, and I've already connected our Varios 2, which is a return pump that we're going to be running on this system. As I said, our drainage is a twin drainage system. This is going to be the main drain with a gate valve that we can use to adjust the flow that drains down this. And our secondary drain, which you'll note is longer topside to the primary, and this is going to allow us to have a silencing system on this tank. So let's start by putting our plumbing in, and then we'll show you the rest of the system. I've finished installing the plumbing on our ReefSys 255. So let's have a look at the sump layout and talk about the options and the ways you can customize this system. So first of all, in the back left-hand corner, there's an auto top-up reservoir. So it probably holds about, I'm going to guess, maybe 10, 12 litres or something like that. And so you can use this to put RO water in that you could then feed into your sump to top up to compensate for evaporation. Now, it's not a particularly large section for a reservoir. Potentially, you may want more space than this. And the other problem is it's a little bit far in the back of the tank. So you'd really want to have something that you can, an easy way to fill this. I'd probably use like small bottles or something that you can then tip in easily. So from this section, we then move over to where our plumbing goes into the sump. And we've got our main drain with the gate valve to adjust it, and our secondary drain and our return line here. The return line is 19 mil, and so it works perfectly for the Varios 2 that we have, because it has a 19 mil barb option when you buy that return pump. So the water flows from this section into a filter sock section. This system comes with 2 of the nylon mesh filter socks. The water then flows through this little triangular hole in the bottom underneath the filter socks into an area which is designed for a protein skimmer. Now, you've got a removable baffle that you can use to increase the size of this space, and I'll put it in the middle one, but there is also this option on the left, and this baffle is also able to be adjusted for height. You've got these little plastic wing nuts, so you can then raise this baffle up so that you can control the water level in this system. So we'll put this baffle in the center because this will allow us enough space to run a protein skimmer on the right and a refugium style algae scrubber in the middle. We then have our return pump section here on the left, which also has an adjustable height baffle. This one isn't removable, but you can increase and decrease the height of that so that you can control the water level in the sump. So now it's time for us to fill this system. Here we are. We've filled our ReefSys 255 up with seawater, And we've moved some fish and corals into the tank. Now, we've used a lot of biological media from an existing tank, and all of this rock work was in a tank previously. So we've moved it all in place in one go, but we're going to be very careful about ensuring that the water chemistry is perfect for the fish and corals. We haven't put everything on the system yet. There's still the lights to go, but let's have a look at how this tank runs, and we'll show you the equipment that we've put on this system. The ReefSys 255 is quite a good height if you like to look down on your corals. And we're looking down on the top of the tank now. We've got two little Tuns nano streams for water movement in the tank, and they're providing a nice amount of ripple at the surface. But something else that we have spoken about, our twin return lines are both putting out a fairly good flow with that Octo Varios 2, and it's nice to have the ability to direct the flow anywhere you want it. And you can also put these quite deep into the tank without fear of them siphoning back into the sump because of that siphon break that we also mentioned. It's a very neat overflow with this angle. It's a very attractive looking tank, and certainly this section is part of the tank that I really like. Let's have a look at the features underneath the tank and what we've done there. We've got our componentry set up in this tank, and as I mentioned before, this tank, or the livestock in this tank, has come from a previously established tank. So we have a lot of biological media in this section here. Now, this is where I'll probably move the Deltec skimmer across into once we've got past the next few weeks, and once we look at the options of setting up a refugium style algae scrubber in this section. But for now, it's working quite well. Our Deltec is pulling out a good amount of skim. It's running fairly low, but there's not a lot of bio load in the tank at the moment. The Varios 2 was the perfect return pump for this system. It's the right amount of flow. As we mentioned, it has the right size hose tail for the return for the hose. We've also got a chiller, a TK500 operating on this system. The things that I like about the sump design, the removable baffles, the adjustable baffles, the socks are very easy to get to at the back here. If I had to be critical of the system, the one thing that I'd probably say is the water in the return section where the drains feed into is probably a little bit high. So it is important to ensure that your pump, your overflow system is well tuned. But we've got our system well tuned here. You can see that there's hardly any bubbles coming down into that section, so it's not causing any sort of salt creep or mess. But overall, it's a very good sump design, and one that you can really do a lot with and customize to your needs. The ReefSys range comes in three sizes. The 180 is the smallest, the 255 is the middle size, and there's also a 326. The 255 is a particularly good size because it's a real good compromise between the amount of maintenance it takes to upkeep this tank, as well as the amount you can keep in terms of fish and corals. It's a very modern looking aquarium. The cabinet comes in black or white. It's got a well-designed filtration system and well-designed sump, and it's definitely a tank that you can customize to suit your needs. It's well suited for a variety of lights and skimmers and all sorts of upgrades that you can do on this system. I would definitely recommend this tank for the beginner aquarist and even the more advanced aquarist, as it is so easily customizable and there's a variety of ways you can set these tanks up. So that's it for our deep dive into the ReefSys 255. Hopefully you've learned a little something about this tank and whether or not it's a tank that's suited for your next reefing project. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Happy reefing. That's it for this week's episode of Gallery Aquatica TV. Don't forget to like and comment on all our videos and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned to Gallery Aquatica TV for more exciting episodes to come. I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Happy reefing!